And this is Ninja Ve Dose. Actually, just kidding, that's 12. Ninja Ve Dos.
Okay,
Shit.
okay, that's enough
So
calling.
bad at Spanish.
Okay, I have a crash gameplay on CoD4 with the M40A3 with stopping power steady aim, but right now we don't want to focus on the gameplay. But I do go 47 and 12. I start out really, really bad.
And so he cuts out the first part of the gameplay.
I cut out the first like 2 minutes. But I started doing really, really good, so I just started my record from where I started recording, and I was like 47 and 12. And today we want to...
Hold on, before that. Before we start with anything, I want to quickly apologize for any skipping in the recording, because at one part it did actually skip, so... And it's not that bad, it's maybe like 5 seconds.
It just skips like me watching a kill cam, but...
Yeah.
What we want to focus on today is injuries and how me and Ninja met through one of our friends having a really, really gross injury.
Okay, so basically back in middle school,
7th grade to be exact.
7th grade to be exact. We played football for our middle school team. I thought I was such a badass, but I'm not. I was not at the time. I was really short back then. I was like 5'3". Yeah, I was like 5'3". Anyways, when we played football, we did this drill. Our coaches, by the way, were
complete assholes.
They were insane. They were really hard on us.
And they were people that were fat and told us to run a mile when they were the ones that needed to lose weight.
Yeah, I know. And so, basically, we did this drill. I played wide receiver, and
we both did.
We played wide receiver, so basically, for one of the drills we had to do was we had to go against. I don't even know what they call it, like Blood Valley or something. It was something weird.
And it's basically where a coach is a quarterback and then like a wide receiver and a cornerback.
Yeah, and so the coach will give the wide receiver the ball, and the wide receiver has to run through the cornerback. So it's kind of like a, I don't even know what you would try to call it.
But anyways, I was sitting behind one of our friends, and he was like, and he had to go against this dirty Mexican that everyone was kind of scared of.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get me to go, and I was like, no, I don't really want to. This guy's kind of scary. And so after he finished the play, everyone thought it was okay, but then he was sitting on the ground, and we didn't really notice anything until he started screaming as loud as he could that he had broken his arm. And I looked down, and I see that his arm is bent 90 degrees the wrong way.
Yeah,
at his elbow.
It was gross. It was the nastiest thing I've ever seen. And from my view, I was staring at him, and I just heard the loudest pop, and his arm just bent the other way. And I guess he was in shock, because for the first few seconds, he was just staring at it. And then he started screaming, and so we had to go in. So me and Medzi here went in. We got one of the coaches.
We had completely we knew about each other, but we weren't really friends.
Yeah.
And we called the ambulance, and we had to get our friend back to the
to our school
locker room.
Yeah, to our school locker room area.
What our main coach did is he handed me and Ninja a pair of scissors, and we had to cut his jersey off.
Yeah, we had to cut his jersey off and make sure his jersey got completely off, and we had to take off his shoulder pads, which was very hard.
Considering he had a broken arm.
Yeah, considering he had a snapped arm. It was. I wouldn't even consider it broken. Broken is an understatement.
Yeah, gruesome is an understatement too, because it was more than that.
Yeah, and every time I see it, it just makes me.
And he was just sitting there in complete shock, not noticing it really. He was scared of the way it looked, not how it hurt. But after we got him to the ambulance and everything, me and Ninja kind of just I guess, became friends after that, because we were walking back to the wide receiver drills and just talking about how freaking gross that was.
Anyways, but that was one story we had back in middle school.
Now Ninja has a story about him in some class.
So last year in my class, I'm in a theater tech class. I was in a theater tech class, and the only time I was in a theater tech class was because I needed a certain credit that class offered. And I didn't know any other classes that would sound fun that offered it, so I just decided to take theater tech with a few of my friends. And so it was a fun class. It really was actually a fun class. And all we did was just build props, stage props for the theater kids. And I'm not a theater person at all. cannot just get up on stage and start acting out a play. And so, anyways, we were sitting in theater tech, and they gave us equipment, or not equipment, just like tools to use. And so we were building like a tree, like a fake tree. And so we used nails, like hammer nails. We used saws. We used a couple other like tools like that. And one of them was a nail gun, a compressed air nail gun. And so basically, you plug it into the wall, and it gets like pressure, and it compresses these nails to where it has enough to go through the wood. And one of my friends unplugged it, and this is at the very end of class. We were putting all these stuff up, and so he unplugged the nail gun from the wall.
And nail guns still have compressed air in them after you unplug them.
And so the nail gun still had compressed air in the container. And he thought he was funny. Actually, it was actually funny to me. It was really funny to me. But he put his hand on the table, and he didn't think a nail would come out of the gun. But he put the end of the nail gun onto his hand. So he laid his hand flat on a wood table and put the gun on top of it and pressed down, and this nail just shot right through his hand and into the wood. And it goes completely through, and his hand is nailed to this wood tray almost. It's like a wood like table. And so we had to cut out, and he was in so much shock he didn't even realize what was happening. And so we cut out a little square of the table, and we had me and a few other of my classmates and the teacher walking down to the front nurse office place, and we called the ambulance from there. But then they made us walk back to class, so I never got to actually see him like get the nail removed from his hand.
Ninja did tell me that you could see a hole straight through the middle of his palm.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. You could see a hole straight through. And so basically it was like his hand. It was like Jesus. He got his hand nailed to a wooden tray or table.
Sacrilegious.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So after that, he had to like have like bandages
and like a metal, I guess, wire put in his hand to keep it together.
To keep the bones together. But it was pretty gruesome at the time.
I would say the arm was more gruesome.
Yeah, the arm was definitely more gruesome, and I can still keep imagining it just popping, which is really
I remember
gross.
seeing the guy that broke his arm in school the next day, and he said he had just fractured it, but I thought it was too severe to just be a fracture.
Yeah, it was gross.
And the game is about to end. There's like 6 points left. And if there were game-winning kill cams, I would have had the game-winning kill cam. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you better wait and see.
Yeah, there's a no scope. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Anyways,
watch and see.
Yeah. All right. So
right there. There you go. We're gonna go now.
Yeah. So see you again.